Boom! It's the first day of your new life. Time to finally attain that rose-colored future you've always wanted. A brand new car, riches beyond your wildest imagination and popularity. This is your peak, the pinnacle of fulfillment! Then you end up like this. Sometimes life just doesn't go the way you want it to. One day you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be a world-famous actor, like Radcliffe, like DiCaprio, like National Treasure Nick Cage. But then, the next day you're partaking in a McDonald's chicken sandwich, a McDicken if you will, at 3 a.m. contemplating your life choices. But hey, listen, if something like this has happened to you, it's okay, you're a normal person, kinda. Being dissatisfied with life is like taking a shit. Sometimes it just hits like Ragnarok, and as human beings, we have the tendency to dwell on all of our life choices when things just aren't going your way. You'll start to have questions like, did I make the right choice, or would I be happier if I did things differently? They're thoughts that you'll never really get the answer to. Nobody knows what the future would have held in store for you had you done things differently. But then, what if you could know? Cue every single time travel movie ever made. Okay, but specifically, what if you could change that one thing you regret? That one moment that would have shot your life into a completely different trajectory? Would you be happier on this new path? Would you be better off? Well, I don't fucking know. I'm not Gandalf. But oh look, philosophical psychedelic anime. Ooh. The Tatami Galaxy is a mind-bending, stylistically bizarre, heart-wrenching piece that tackles all of these questions. The show, at its core, depicts some of the most realistic and painful emotions that we face as human beings. I think this is an anime that to anyone who has ever enjoyed the medium before, enjoyed those stories jam-packed with substance, you absolutely need to experience this one. And I'd even go so far as to say that the Tatami Galaxy will change you. Watashi is a third-year university student and his life fucking sucks. For the last 2 years of college, he, along with his best friend Ozu, spent time splitting up couples on campus out of pure spite because they suffered from the most common illness plaguing young men, having no bitches. The two of them broke up couples the way Shaq used to break backboards, shattering relationships into smithereens. But despite his shenanigans, our lovely protagonist is not too happy about the direction his life is headed in. He had a very clear picture of how things were gonna go, you know, with a great job, a raven-haired maiden, and that overall rose-colored future. You know, the average Redditor's wet dream. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, because after joining the tennis club in his first year, he met his onion-shaped best friend, where then he was seduced to the dark side. Now, things don't really seem like they're gonna change for Watashi anytime soon. That is until one random night, while taking refuge at his favorite ramen shop, Katsup, Watashi is faced with a proposal from an alleged god of love. Goodness, that chin. Wonder what I could fit in there. So Watashi sees this guy and is like, dude, what the hell are you talking about, you stupid idiot? You love God? More like love dumb idiot, stupid idiot. But then the eggplant man is like, I know you wet the bed until you were 10. I know they called you stinky butt in elementary school. You got rejected in your first year of college. Losers. Your parents think you look dumb. You have no money, no friends, no bitches. The last 2 years of your life, you've lived like a degenerate, spiteful, lazy piece of shit. So after getting dunked on, Watashi casually has a quick breakdown, but then the love god is like, fret not, me boy, your luck could finally turn around, because on this particular day, at this particular hour, I will be setting up your underclassman Akashi with a romantic partner. Now, Akashi here has been the one bright light in Watashi's seemingly terrible college life thus far, and the candidates for this partner have come down to either Watashi himself or Ozu. The love god tells him, act now, then you shall be victorious. Come to my room later, and I will give you the magical details. Now all this stuff about being a matchmaking god, yeah, no, it's a bunch of bullshit this guy made up, but that doesn't matter right now. Watashi accepts the proposal and the two reconvene. For this grand plan to work, all Watashi has to do is get this little stress toy Akashi lost a little while ago, which happens to be hanging on his lamp, give it to her at the fireworks show, then ask the big question. Finally, he can attain an ideal future with what little time he has left. This is his moment. Watashi musters up all of his courage to ask out the girl, but then he doesn't, because he's got social anxiety. With all of his regrets finally having caught up to him and not being able to act for the future, all he can think about is how things could have gone differently had he not joined the club he did. Yeah man, fuck tennis. That's why nobody likes me. Anyway, as the thought crosses his mind, he gets yeeted through time and space to do things over and over and over. Time travel is like the burger and fries of genres in fiction. It's common, slightly brain rot, and it generally tastes good. Generally. We have seen time travel in a ton of different ways. It is a concept so far far out of reach that we tend to fill in the gaps in ways that probably shouldn't have ever even been thought of. It's seen in some of the biggest titles, almost always being used in the exact same ways, like, let's go back in time to save the world, let's go back in time to fix my mistakes, let's go back in time and let myself get poisoned so I can get revenge and rape. There is just so much time travel slop everywhere, but it remains an interesting topic. It's just difficult when a lot of them are kinda bland. But because of that, it is extra special when one comes around and uses the mechanic in an interesting way that makes us go, wow, you actually tried to do something different. And in this show, it's pretty damn good. Here we aren't getting into some strange time paradox or operating to save the future. In the Tatami Galaxy, it's mainly used with the goal of seeing a series of what-ifs. It's to show off the hypothetical of what campus life would be like if Watashi joined a different club. Literally no other changes are made, even his memories don't remain, though there are the occasional references to the other timelines. This is simply him being able to change that one thing he regrets. Every time, this is the same Watashi looking for that same rose-colored future, but constantly getting caught up in some strange-ass bullshit. The episodes will generally follow a similar formula, where Watashi joins a new club, he spends 2 years on a wild goose chase with the hopes of finding his perfect life, then misses out on a chance that's dangling right in front of him. As a result, kaboom, the timeline resets. And because of how much this happens, Watashi ends up doing a lot. He becomes an athlete, a superhero, and even a master of the English language.
Go to hell, Ozu!
Every route he explores has its own distinct personality that reveals new aspects about this world. There's one timeline where Watashi joins the film circle at his university and he stands at odds with his club head, the Giga Pervert voiced by Sukuna. Archer if you're cool. We see Watashi spend all of his time working towards exposing his boss for acting like a piece of shit. He absolutely despises him to the point where it kinda ruins his life. Then in a whole other timeline, you see the two of them actually become friends. Sort of. Each episode plays with perspective in such a unique way that gives us a look at every nook and cranny of this world. Where in one episode a character might disappear to do something, in another we get the answer to it in depth. You start to become invested in seeing where these characters are going to end up, and 90% of the time, you will not see it coming. Take this episode, oh you know, all is well and good. Watashi joins the softball club trying to impress his crush, classic, then bam, he's being hunted down by an evil bee-themed megacult later that day. Man, hate it when that happens. Oh, and then there's that time where he gets stuck in this love triangle thing, trying to determine which girl he actually likes, all while he is in one of the girls' bathrooms as she is drunk, arguing about ethics with his boner, who is portrayed as a gun-slinging cowboy named Johnny, voiced by fucking Link from Ocarina of Time. Well, that probably ruined your childhood. Shit is all over the place here, and just when you think things are starting to make sense, fuck you. The animation says, hello, you like drugs? You like drugs, right? Here's some drugs. Take the fucking drugs. Everything here is presented with this outrageous art style that is like getting flashbanged by an art student's fever dream. Like, seriously, who the hell is responsible for this? Oh, Masaki Yuusa. Yeah, he did these. It makes sense. In true Yuusa fashion, this piece is born from the depths of creative bullshit, and this has his touch all over, which is a very good thing. The whole team did a really good job of adapting the world as Watashi sees it. It's overwhelming and insane, depicting this surrealist, abstract style. With every shot, you can just feel how much thought they put into these visuals, that even the most mundane things are still so striking. And yes, this is just a sugar-coated way of me saying that it's weird as shit. Like, one time the characters end up getting really drunk because of a drinking contest, and the show takes you down with them into that experience. The drunker they get, the more we lose touch with reality. The colors go fucko mode, the sound gets distorted, and the images get cooked. It's pretty cool. This is literally just a couple seconds where the animation has this flair, and pretty much every episode will have some sort of sequence that does something different. The animation will always manage to stamp its personality into your brain, giving life to each route that Watashi goes through. These realities are filled with wild color schemes, hectic adventures, and eccentric people, all with something new to say. The lives he creates are brimming with vast potential, but still, Watashi always comes back to the same point of dissatisfaction. Life never ends up the way he wants it to. He goes through all these lengths in order to change things, but still ends up at the same point of emptiness, missing out on any opportunity that presented itself. This cycle that repeats time and again is born from a fundamentally unhealthy viewpoint on life, stemming from that rose-colored future. In every timeline, without fail, Watashi lives in the thought of another life rather than looking up at the one in front of him. There's always this comparison to a spotless future that he's created in his head. Now, while this way of thinking is very self-destructive, it's also painfully realistic. I can think back to tons of times where I've thought like this. We've all had moments where you compare your life to someone else's or to an idea that you've once dreamed of, and when you look back at where you currently stand, all you can see is failure. It's the classic saying that the grass is always greener on the other side. We are all prone to devaluing our lives and accomplishments because we set these impossible expectations of what things should be. It's not necessarily this conscious decision that we make, but a mindset we just happen to slip into. Watashi constantly finds himself struggling with this, unintentionally belittling and rejecting what he has created. He is, in a sense, a reflection of the viewer's experiences. I mean, we literally call him Watashi, which just means me. It's not even his real name. In fact, that doesn't actually get revealed in the series. He fixates on the possibility of a future filled with a constant flux of gratification, and that just doesn't exist. So when he fails to find it, he sees his life as worthless. But it isn't. He does manage to accomplish things in these timelines. He is talented and has a ton of strengths. The main problem is that he just gives up. We focus a lot on seeing his points of failure, but he really has so much going for him and a lot of potential. It's just a matter of him being able to see that within the lives he experiences. There are people around him that he cherishes, things that he enjoys doing, and places to explore. It's not just a thought, but in actuality, they all exist. They possess value, and while it may not look like this perfect future, it's better than that. It carries a real weight, even if you think it's empty. In the madness that the show puts on display with these wild yet human characters, it takes us down into these incredibly common emotions that we experience while trying to navigate through life and puts it into perspective. Time travel isn't used here to show us that our lives could have been better with different choices, but rather to show us that we'd still be the same people. We'd still come back to these same fundamental feelings. So there's really no point in thinking about changing the past. As soon as we stop living our lives in the what ifs and getting caught up in what could have been, we can push ahead to better the life that presents itself. A life that truly is beautiful. The Tatami Galaxy is a story about you, about me. It's about all of us. While maybe not the most beginner-friendly anime out there, it has so much soul that has continued to stick with me to this day. If you have ever felt like your life isn't what it's supposed to be, or like you're stuck at a difficult point, I highly recommend you give this one a chance. It is a friendly yet chaotic tap on the shoulder to say, hey, your life is worth living, even with the hardships and the insanity. Even if you aren't at a point where you're exactly satisfied, you still have the right to live. Those bumps you may encounter are what make it your life, so accept them. March forward with flaws and all, because I promise you that no matter where you're at, it's not too late. Just be warned, when you do watch this, Watashi will sometimes decide to break the sound barrier. Hey, slow down! Slow the fuck down!